Hi, everybody. This is Hilary here from We Love Smart Keto. I hope you're having a really great day. Just give me a 1 in the comments if you're watching this live, and a 2 if you're watching on the replay. I've got a different camera today, so I hope that's all working good. And so what we're going to be talking about today is setting up your environment so that you can really succeed on keto. And I think this is a really important topic. Tell me in the comments, have you had to change your environment a lot in order to be able to make keto work for you? Or have you found it quite simple? I think that would be really interesting to know. I know that for me, that old adage of failing to plan is planning to fail. And I think that's true enough for transitioning into keto, getting started with keto, just the same as it is for anything else, any other change that you want to make in your life. And what we're really trying to do here is to make following a keto lifestyle really easy and make everything else that's not keto super hard. So tell me in the comments, do you want keto to be easy? Or, there are a few people who like things to be a challenge. So do you like a challenge, or would you like to make the keto lifestyle easy? So let me know in the comments, put easy or hard in the comments. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some things that will really, I think, help, particularly if you're just starting out with keto, or if you're having trouble like really sticking to keto. Then here's some suggestions for you as to what might really help you. And of course, what we're trying to do here is give you choices and options. What works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another. So here at We Love Smart Keto, we recognize that everybody's got their own lifestyle, everybody's smart, we're all intelligent, we can work out what works for us. So I'm really trying to give you some choices and options. So if you go, oh, that doesn't really sound like it'll work for me, that's fine. It might well work for somebody else. And if you go, oh, that's interesting, I'm going to give that a go, then experiment with it. You're not committed to do it for your whole life. Just give it a go, see if it works for you. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is about your kitchen. Now, I'm not only going to be talking about the kitchen, but obviously, keto is a lot about what, not entirely, but a lot about what we put in our mouths. And so I want to talk to you about getting your kitchen organized so that you can set up for successfully. So I think kitchen and how you organize it depends a little bit on whether it's you and your whole household that are doing keto, or if it's just yourself within your family that's doing keto. Now, in my household, it's myself and my child. She's quite young. She doesn't do keto. In fact, she's a very picky eater. And so if I tried to take away all of the carb-based things from her, she would have a very limited range of food that she ate. So, and in fact, whenever she eats something new and different, I celebrate it, no matter whether it's healthy or unhealthy, because what we're trying to do at this age is get her to expand her range of food choices. Certainly for, young children, they're traditionally quite wary of trying new foods, and that's actually an innate biological mechanism, because we don't want to put things that are toxins in our mouth. So it's a very natural thing. She's just taking a little bit longer to change and be a bit broader around what she'll eat. So my aim with her at the moment is to expand what she's eating rather than restricting. So you might have other reasons, or other people in your household who are choosing not to eat keto, or perhaps it's not something that they want to do or is suitable for them at this time. So my recommendations around getting your kitchen organized are a little bit different depending on which one you are. So if you're fortunate enough that your whole household is doing keto, before you get started with keto is the best time to do it, but you can do it any time, and is actually to go through your kitchen and clean out anything that you no longer need on keto. So for example, when I got to keto, I cleaned out, flour, oats, sugar in the cupboards, crackers, biscuits, cookies, anything that's, not suitable for keto. Best to, get rid of that out of your life. Now, you can choose to give that to a friend or family if you want to, or we're very fortunate here to have composting food bins, so anything we don't throw it in the bin doesn't go to landfill, it doesn't go to the tip, it actually gets converted into and processed into fertilizer and things. So or while it's wasteful, it's at least recycled and reused. So clean out your kitchen cupboards. The other thing that I'd also suggest you think about is looking at any appliances you have that aren't going to serve you on keto. So maybe you have a sandwich maker, for example, and you like, I'm not going to have bread anymore, so I really don't need this sandwich maker. I don't need it to make toasties, so I'm going to get rid of that out of my life. In my case, I didn't get rid of it because mine's got convertible plates, so you can change plates. So I've got a chaffle maker, and also just a flat plate that I actually can do omelets in quite easily. So I kept mine, but just have a look, go through, anything that you don't need, clean out your cupboards. It's a good opportunity just have a fresh start in the kitchen. So don't just think about the actual food you don't need. Think about the other appliances and other things that you might have, utensils you might have. So for example, the little forks that you put in the ends of the corn on the cob sticks, perhaps you don't need those anymore. Get rid of those out of your kitchen, and then you're just not tempted. It just removes all of that temptation when you go, oh, I feel like doing a bit of baking, oh, I've got some flour, I might just make some muffins here. So just get rid of all of that. So tell me, when you started keto, did you do that clear out? Did you clear out just the food, or did you also clear out the appliances? Let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested to know. So that's fine if you're the only person if all of your household is doing keto. What do you do if you're the only person in your household, or there's not all of the household doing it? Well, in that case, what I suggest is that you have designated space in your kitchen cupboards and in your fridge and in your freezer, where it's keto approved, if you like it, a designated space. Whether that's a big space or a small space will just depend on whether it's just you or more people in your household that are doing keto, but make that designated. So in my case, for example, in my kitchen cupboard, in my pantry, I have a specific space that is all of the things that are for keto, and I only eat things from that shelf. I don't eat things from any of the other shelves, and so that makes it really simple for me, and I just don't have to think about it. It's really, really simple. So tell me in the comments, I'd be very interested to know, have you got your kitchen organized? Is that something that maybe you're going to do in the next week? Perhaps set a goal, set a date. And when we set ourselves a goal, always much better to actually write in our diaries the time and the date and the time that we're going to do it, because then it'll actually get done. There's a lot of evidence to show if you're going to make a change, it's no good saying, oh, I'm just going to do it. We can have this intention, but actually if you make a date with yourself, make an appointment with yourself to do it, then it will really happen. So be really interested to know, have you done it? Have you cleaned out your kitchen cupboards? Or are you now making a date with yourself to do that? Just put some music on, put something on that's good to listen to, make it a fun time, and just get it done. The other thing that I want to talk to you about environment is, our environment can really set triggers for us. So that the classic one is, I sit down, I've had a busy day, it's time to sit down, I'm going to rest after I've done dinner, I've maybe washed up the dishes or got somebody else to do it, and now it's time for sitting down and relaxing in the evening. And what do many people do? Well, maybe you're going to sit down and watch your favorite show, and maybe I'll have a handful of something, just like a little after dinner snack, maybe, I don't know whether in the past you might have had candy or popcorn or something like that. So in fact, what happens is we have a sort of a chain of habits. So, sitting down on the sofa, relaxing, getting the remote control, turning on the TV, putting it to your favorite show, that can be a trigger for people to then, oh, I need a snack. So what we need to do is set up our environment where we have those food triggers, where we might eat something that, is not helpful for us. Rethink those triggers. for yourself. So maybe you want to set up your environment differently. One of the things that really works, it's very small but really powerful, is actually, if you can't get rid of all of that food that is not healthful for us, not keto, then hide it. Put it somewhere that you have to go some distance to get it. Either in a cupboard, in the back of the cupboard where it's not easy to get, or even sometimes, I know people sometimes put their stuff in the car, in their automobile, so they have to actually go out to the automobile to get it, perhaps in the trunk. I know it sounds a bit silly, but it does work. So let me know what you might have tried to do that. The other thing is, if you have a favorite snack bowl, just get rid of that snack bowl. If you go, oh, look, the snack bowl sitting there looks really tempting, I better put something in it, then get rid of it. The other thing is, it's not necessarily non-keto things that you might snack on. We might snack on, some cubes of cheese or some nuts. And, while those are keto healthy, what we're trying to do is to reduce the amount of snacks that we have, so that, we give our digestive systems time to rest and digest. So the other alternative is actually just to get rid of, if you're trying to lose some weight, get rid of nuts and cheese and things like that, things that are a little bit higher fat, that are going to sort of push you a bit higher than you want to be on your total calorie load. As we said, always, we don't count calories, but calories do count. So, if we're trying to reduce our number of snacks, just don't have those snacks in the house, or have them very difficult to get to. The other thing, if you're finding even that a challenge, is that maybe rearrange your furniture. If you always sit down in your particular favorite spot, and everything's kind of associated with, like, where you put the snack bowl, where you have everything easy to reach, maybe even just have a go at rearranging the furniture. A bit of a change can kind of mix up those triggers that we have, those emotional triggers that we have, to eat perhaps when we shouldn't. So let me know, have you tried that? Have you tried rearranging your furniture, just to kind of shuffle things around and change things around in the way that you do things? There's a lot of evidence that just shifting very simple things can really shift our habits. Like even just changing, using our toothbrush from the hand that we always use to the other hand, that can actually really shift up our habits as well. I'm not suggesting that for this specifically, but have a think about what are some small things, even if you don't want to move all of the furniture around, what are some small and subtle things that you might want to shift in your living environment, or anywhere where you're triggered by snacks. Have a think about what you might change, and I'd be interested to know in the comments what you think you might change. So there's just one other thing I want to talk about. We've talked about the kitchen. We've talked about living areas and other areas where you might have triggers to eat unhealthily when you don't particularly want to do that. The other one is when we're out and about, and I'm going to tell you a story here of the place that I used to live. I used to live in an apartment block on the beach, and it was a fantastic place to live. And it was before I had my daughters. So a few times a week I would get up early in the morning. I'd go out to the gym, which was just up the road. I'd go and do a really hard workout session, and then I'd walk the sort of 5 minutes or so back to my apartment. Wonderful lifestyle. It was just that we had the most amazing French bakery that was between the gym and my apartment. Oh dear, it was, and they made all the stuff on the premises. And I live in Australia, but the people who ran it are actually French. It was a French baker. Can you imagine the smell of those croissants and the almond croissants and all those wonderful baked goods? Absolutely amazing. And this was before I was on the keto lifestyle. But I had some commitments and some goals, around being fit, about being a particular weight. And so walking past that bakery on the way home from the gym, just as it opened and all those beautiful smells came out, 7:15 in the morning, not so great. Very hard to resist when you smell that wonderful smell and you're like, well, I've worked out, I deserve something to eat, something, tasty. And so what I used to do was I used to walk the back route. So instead of walking the shortest route from the gym back to my apartment, I used to go a slightly longer route, take me a whole 7 minutes instead of 5 minutes, and those extra steps are pretty good. And I would go a different route, a different way home. So pretty silly story, but very simple, very effective. I just changed my outdoor environment. I went a different way. I took a different route deliberately on the way home. So I wonder if that might apply to you, whether there's some triggers from the past. If you're driving a certain way home, perhaps you've got a favorite store or favorite takeaway restaurant, or something that you would often, out of habit, stop at once or twice a week. So have a think about that. Are there some things in your outdoors environment that you can just quite simply shift, so that you don't have those triggers happening for you, and it just becomes simple and easy for you. And who knows, there might be something wonderful that you discover on the alternative route home. I mean, maybe some beautiful flowers that are flowering on a particular tree, that you otherwise wouldn't have seen. I know with my change route, there was a lady had a garden with wonderful sunflowers that I wouldn't have otherwise got to see. So every morning, instead of getting tempted by the croissants, I would really enjoy the sunflowers that she had in her garden, and so I had a wonderful experience. It was just a different wonderful experience. So we've talked about a few things today. We've talked about in terms of your environment, we've talked about reorganizing your kitchen, getting rid of the things that are not serving you, both in terms of food and in terms of perhaps kitchen appliances and utensils that you don't need anymore. And the nice thing is that you also then get to declutter a little bit, and who doesn't like a bit of fresh space in the households. We've talked about your living spaces and how you set those up so that the triggers that you might have had previously to eat in a way that no longer serves you, that those triggers are gone or shifted. Oh, the other thing I should have mentioned in terms of living spaces is, if you're one of those people who always likes to have something in your hands, perhaps find something different to do while you're watching TV or watching a favorite show. Maybe, silly as it sounds, a fidget spinner or a squishy ball, or, if you're used to doing something with your hands, find something else to do with your hands. I know that we've got some champion crochet people in here, people who like to do craft. I find that difficult because I can't watch a show and do my craft because I'm not good enough at that. So I like to have something, that I can do, something tactile and nice that I can just hold in my hands if I feel I need that. And then we also talked about the outdoor environment and thinking about the things that you pass, when you're traveling, and whether any of those are triggers for you, and whether you might, in a simple way, be able to perhaps change that route, or change the things that you focus on, the things that you notice when you're walking along. I know for a while my other trick was actually to play Pokemon Go. It's a little bit dated now, but my daughter and I, we actually love to play Pokemon Go, particularly in these kind of times where we have sort of less opportunity for fun. So we really enjoy, doing that. And that sort of creates a really great distraction for us for, don't need it anymore, but certainly it's a good distraction from any kind of temptations, just playing a silly game like that. So those are some of the things I wanted to have a chat with you about. There's been lots of great things going on in We Love Smart Keto. Terry Hastings is the winner again for the most active person in the group. Terry, I owe you the voucher from last week. I'm so sorry. I totally slipped my mind. So I will get that done for you in the next 24 hours. So look out for that. I found your email address. It was a little bit buried in my system, but I have found it. So I will get that across to you. So apologies for being a bit late with that. And also any questions that you have, of course, around keto lifestyle, please do pop them in the group, and I will do my best to answer in the group. So I hope you've really enjoyed this little Facebook Live session. Please let me know any questions, any feedback that you have. Just wonderful to have you here in listening to us on the stream, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys. What's going on my clicking here?